What is going on, guys? So I've been hitting some pretty big numbers on my channel recently. My biggest lesson has just gone over 10 million views on YouTube, making it the most watched guitar lesson on YouTube now. The channel in general has hit over 250,000 subscribers and we're heading up to 30 million views over the channel as a whole now. 250,000 subscribers is just amazing and kind of mind-blowing. I never envisaged that, I never aimed for that. That wasn't a thing that happened when I first started making YouTube videos, okay? I very much started making videos just to promote my private lessons in the local area. So that is incredibly overwhelming and I wanted to make a couple of special videos for you guys, something a little bit different, not just a song lesson or anything. And I asked the people on my Facebook page what they would kind of dig, and they suggested some kind of about me video was what kind of came to the top of the things that were listed. So in this video I'm doing 10 things you don't know about me, as to try and make an about me video a bit more concise and engaging is the idea. So number one, first things first, I'm from a place called Barnsley. This is in the north of England. It's an old mining town famous for the football club, the people having a strong Yorkshire dialect, and a Barnsley chop. I grew up not too far away from where the band the Arctic Monkeys kind of lived, and we went to the same college. We both went to Barnsley College. I was there with Matt Helders and Alex Turner. I knew them quite well. We weren't absolute best friends, but it was really cool to know them and then see what they went on to do. I would like to give a shout out to a couple of members of my family who have other YouTube channels as well. So we have my niece, Jessica Crowley. She has a YouTube channel called That Blonde Girl. Links in the description below or on the video somewhere. Subscribe to her. She does vlogging and things like that, the things that a teenage girl does, I guess, on YouTube. And we have my mum's boyfriend, Ken, who has Ken Fisher Photography. He's got hundreds of Lightroom tutorials, Photoshop tutorials, step by step, really easy to follow. Can't tell you how many things he's taught me. Definitely check those guys out. Music-wise, my first inspiration for wanting to play the guitar is 100% Marty McFly in Back to the Future playing Johnny B. Good with a big red guitar and jumping all over the stage and making it look easy. I, like many people, had guitar lessons in school. I had them when I was about 9 and I hated them. I could not see how what we were doing there, playing Come By Hard or whatever we were playing on these nylon string guitar, the classical style, could not see how that was going to enable me to play like Marty McFly, basically. Just couldn't see the gap, and because of that, I think, I found many other ways of playing music. So I had piano lessons, which I, to be honest, pretty much enjoyed because I was able to find the melodies on the piano as well as learn the pieces that I was doing quite well. I was taught by my older brother, John. He taught me a couple of things on the guitar, but mainly how to make music using computers. So from a very early age, I was able to get my ideas down, be it on the piano or on the computer, or play a couple of bits on the guitar. But it certainly wasn't until I was around 14 that I got an acoustic guitar and then an electric guitar. And that was definitely the electric guitar, the first Epiphone Les Paul that I got. I couldn't stop looking at the thing. I just thought it looked amazing and I enjoyed holding it. And yeah, I loved everything about it. It was like a work of art to me and the most precious thing that I owned, 100%. When I was buying CDs back in the day, remember those in the 90s, CDs? I used to, like most people, read the sleeve notes. You'd see the lyrics inside and I'd see all these names in and see these terms like mix engineer and producer and songwriting credits. And I was aware that there were more people involved than just the guy who had his picture on the front cover, for example. A big person I was aware of, Robbie Williams, was massive when I was learning guitar and getting into music and learning piano. And I really enjoyed it, certainly at the time. And he wrote a lot of songs with a guy called Guy Chambers. Guy Chambers wrote the music and produced a lot of the music, recorded it in the studio, etc. And Robbie Williams tended to just sing and write the lyrics. And I always really, that was probably the main goal. That was my ambition. That was my dream, to be able to tour with someone like that. Someone else could be the star and I could write the music behind the scenes, still get to go on tour, still play with a band, everything like that, but it wasn't my face on the album. That was always the dream kind of back in the day, because I just could not envisage being a frontman or being a singer or any of these sorts of things. One of my other favourite bands from around that time is The Darkness. And whatever your opinions of the band The Darkness, back in 2003, 2004, they were one of the biggest bands in the world. And I heard a story about them, or I read in an interview, that they were just ignored, as many people thought at the time. They thought they were a joke. They thought they weren't taking it seriously. They were selling up the 80s or whatever. And they were dismissed. So they recorded their own album at the cost of £20,000 and then licensed it to distributors and ended up a lot better off for it. So that kind of being ignored and having to do it all themselves stood them in better stead. It massively paid dividends. And I think that stuck with me when I was sort of starting my own YouTube channel, and I didn't sign with any partner networks or anything. I just became a YouTube partner. I became a YouTube partner back in 2012, and it was shortly after that that I started filming a series of 10 songs with 2 chords, with a £20 webcam and a decent microphone that I had, put some decent lighting up. And that has now become the 10 million lesson, the most watched guitar lesson on YouTube. And it was from then, 2012, 2013, that I started making the lessons more regularly, and I could see how a fuller course could be made. That lesson was pitched kind of one below anything else I could find on YouTube. It was just a little bit easier than I could find, but allowed people to do so much stuff. Give you an option of 10 songs, and from there another 10 and another 10. And that, I could see how that could work, and I could see how that might possibly blow up further than just leads. I could see how that might get some views in some other way. I think my first ever YouTube videos were some fingerstyle lessons that I did. I might show that now.
Here's a beginner's finger picking pattern for you to try. Now, it's good because the thumb is always on the beat, so it's going to go like this. I'm just going to pick a G chord for now, but we're going to vary the chords over that as we go. So now straight away you'll be able to hear that 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's always there.
And some how to sound like AC/DC, how to sound like Malcolm Young videos, which I will have to redo at some point.
So playing guitar like Malcolm Young. Now a big thing here is going to be a lot of AC/DC songs are either in E or A. Now you used to play in E and A like this, okay? Now we need to do both of those with just one finger. So you play your E's like this, and your A's like this. If you have your thumb on top for the A, that mutes that top string, so we can just get that sound. Now this frees up the rest of your hand, the rest of your fingers, to go change to other chords or do that sort of thing. So you can play a D. A different way of playing that is like that.
This period of taking my work more seriously certainly coincided with after my dad died. He died very suddenly and unexpectedly of a heart attack, and obviously it was a massive blow for the whole family, but for me as well. There was a period of around 3 to 6 months of massive grieving, and it was after that I started writing about it, songwriting, and not too long after that, a year or two, releasing an album which around 3 or 4 of the songs are kind of pretty heavily about my dad and the grieving process. Final Words, the second song on the album, is certainly directly about that, and that really helped. I have to say, sometimes you've got to let things out, and sometimes these things are hard to talk about. It really helped me, and music, I know, helps a lot of people get through these things. But I also threw myself into my work, and I thought, if I'm going to throw myself into something, it may as well be something that I kind of dig. So I was working as a sound and lighting engineer at the time at O2 Academy in Leeds, and it was around that time that I started taking all this more seriously. Around this time when I was teaching a hell of a lot privately, seeing 40 odd students a week and filming videos and doing my website and things, I knew I had to start something totally new for fun. So I started salsa lessons. I did a little bit of jive as well, but salsa lessons were super fun, gave me a social circle. This was street salsa in Leeds. And it gave me heaps of new friends, and around a year and a half ago I started going out with one of the girls from salsa who was Nina, and she's now my girlfriend, has been for a year and a half now. In January of this year, 2016, we've just got our new house together. So we're very happy living in Leeds. And I just have to say, I've never been happier. I love her with all my heart, and I'm sure at some point she'll see this video. But yes, I really do, and I've never had that before in all my life, really. For anyone who knows that feeling, it is amazing when you suddenly find someone who is your best friend and that you could hang out with all day, every day, and never really get sick of each other. What many of you don't know is in November of 2013, so just as kind of the YouTube videos and the channel were starting to get a few thousand views, and I think one of my videos had 50,000 views and I had a few hundred subscribers, I had a hand injury sort of happen one Wednesday afternoon, totally out of the blue. It was an RSI type injury. And that meant for like 6 months to almost a year, I really couldn't even hold a guitar. Squeezing it all was just so painful. My left hand ached constantly, and there was a sharp pain in the middle of it anytime I really did anything with it at all. Even just holding a cup of tea was something I couldn't really do without some pain. After months of treatment in the form of acupuncture, in the form of myofascial release, those two things really helped me. I was able to get back to normal use, basically. Traditional doctors, what we call GPs over here, and hand specialists and neurosurgeons, all the people that you would traditionally think of, basically failed to give me any treatment. They were unable to really diagnose the issue or to treat it. And I really felt kind of let down after a lot of perseverance over, a year and a half, say, of being referred to different hand surgeons or anything. I've never had any surgery on it, and I still believe that was the right way to go. And I do hope to do future videos on sort of how to deal with RSI type injuries and what treatments to seek, and go more in depth on that topic, because I'm sure I'm not the only one, and I feel I can offer a unique perspective on it. But bringing us up to date, over the last year and a half, I've been able to demo in these lessons. I've been able to play a little bit for pleasure, but not as much as I like. I've been able to play piano no problem at all, and I'm hoping to get a new piano channel started very soon. Basically very similar thing to what I'm doing on this guitar channel, and I will keep this channel going. I'll keep at least a lesson a week going on this channel, but I really want to start a piano lessons channel. I think I can offer a unique perspective for what I've seen over there. And it has to be said, if I was making my living full-time for the last 3 years as a live guitarist and gigging with a band or a session musician, I would have not been able to work for around at least a year of that, if not 2 years really, because I just wasn't able to play for that length of time. So that is when having the channel grow in this way and more of you guys subscribe, and even donations coming my way, which a lot of that has basically paid for treatment of my injury. It has been amazing to have that as a creative outlet, and something to still see that is going well when it seems that when everything seems a little bit doom and gloom, put it that way. So yeah, I'm just so grateful for you guys, and I get emails and letters all the time saying how much I have helped you when other lessons haven't. Well, put it this way, all of you guys have helped me when, other things have failed. Family and friends have been so supportive, obviously, But I have to thank you guys for sticking with me throughout this time, and I hope to not let you down in future lessons and videos. And that just about brings us up to date, guys. So thank you so much for watching and sticking with this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, you can subscribe down here. Let me know in the comments below what other special videos you would like, a Q&A type video, a live streams, all of those things, totally possible. Just let me know in the comments below what you guys think would be best. If you follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook, that would be the best way to kind of get in touch for a bit more two-way conversation. You can message me directly via the website at andyguitar.co.uk on the Contact Me page. For any specific messages, that is the best place to get me. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and bye for now.